As for the Broncos, Truth Seeker, they've been getting a lot of tributes, making me think they're going to the Super Bowl. Notice that Denver Broncos equals 154. Levi's Stadium, which is hosting the Super Bowl this year, equals 154. All signs of what is to come, I think. Peyton Manning recently tied Brett Favre's record for most wins by a QB with 186. Would you believe the word landmark has a Jewish gematria of 186? He did this on Sunday Night Football, winning 29-10. 29 plus 10 is 39. Remember, Sunday Night Football equals 39. Peyton Manning, currently 39 years old. And you know what else, now that I think about it, Truth Seeker? This nation was established when 39 signers signed the Declaration of Independence, and it was 39 out of 55 signers. 39 out of 55. Yesterday, the Seahawks won with 39 points on Russell Wilson's birthday, who has a life number of 39, on a date with 55 numerology. 39-55. All scripted, Truth Seeker. Here was a recent article from ESPN that made me laugh. Notice the video length, a minute 31. The story is about 57 high school kids named after Peyton Manning. Look at this. Is this kid in high school? This kid looks like he's in 3rd grade. How about this guy? They just made up this shit, got some kids to pose here. It's all propaganda, Truth Seeker. There's a reason that they picked 57. For one, that's an important number to the Jews, but here's what it's really about. 57 in gematria sums to 131, just like Super Bowl. There's all these signs that the Broncos are going to the Super Bowl this year. Their last Super Bowl they won was Super Bowl 33, which was on a date with 33 numerology. It was also on a date with 131 numerology. 1 plus 31 plus 99 equals 131, like Super Bowl. This was Super Bowl 33. Lots of 33 coding in the NFL because it's run by Freemasons, and the Freemasons obsess over the number 33. The first ever Super Bowl was Packers-Chiefs. They had a big tribute in Monday Night Football this year, scoring 66 points in the game. The first Super Bowl was at the end of the 66 season. Look at this. The date of the game, Truth Seeker. The first ever Super Bowl, a date with 83 numerology. Football equals 83. It had the 39 coding within. 39, an incredibly important number to the Zionists who established the NFL. Those of you who watch all my videos, I must sound like the most redundant person on the history of the earth, but it's only because I'm decoding what these madmen have been doing all this time. Coding their signatures. The same way people tag walls with graffiti, these Zionists tag words with numbers. Here, the recent trade of Vernon Davis, another sign of what's to come. It's the 55th year of existence. Davis equals 55. His birthday is January 31st, just like the last time the Broncos won the Super Bowl on January 31st. He came over from the 49ers who are hosting the Super Bowl this year. I mean, just look at it, Truth Seeker. How can you deny it? How can you deny it? You can't deny it. Even your cognitive dissonance doesn't work against this research. All you NFL fans, I want you to go burn your jerseys and say, no more am I wearing the name of another man on my back who sells me out for millions of dollars. All of you who want to wear jerseys with other men's on your back, men's names on your back, you guys are deceiving yourselves. You're selling yourselves short. There's better things to do with your life than watch rigged football games played by assholes who live for money. Look at this headline from earlier in the week. 47 seconds, the first Super Bowl in the 47th season. You know what 156 is? This number here showing Osweiler? 156 is the God number in English gematria. This might be a sign for what's to come for Osweiler, a future god of the NFL. Unless I can wake everybody up fast enough to end this shit, which is my real goal. It's a little bit of a pipe dream, but hey, a man's got a dream. See what's up here, Truth Seeker? The guys with the 8-3 connections in football, these white sorry-ass quarterbacks getting to be the face of the league while all the dumb fans learn to hate the black superstar, Michael Vick, who is a million times better than both of these guys. Remember that? Michael Vick. Everybody became obsessed with the dog fighting while the United States was off making an illegal war. Nobody was upset about the illegal war, but they were all upset about the black quarterbacks dog fighting. Nation of fucking retards. Those of you who get mad at me for saying it, I'm sorry, you don't like the truth either. Let's look at Peyton Manning real quick. He won his first ever Super Bowl over the Chicago Bears. I gotta let you know, Truth Seeker, in a room of people, I predicted that the final score of this game, we all bet $20. There was about 50 of us. We all bet what the final score of this Super Bowl would be. I bet the Colts would win it 30-17. I was off by 1 point. I still won the bet. Won like $1,000 that day. It's good to be good with numbers, Truth Seeker. Anyhow, that Super Bowl was on a date with 33 numerology. What else? You know, they love to code their 33s in the Super Bowl. And they won 29-17, summing to 46. The losing team was from Chicago. Chicago equals 46. Then Peyton Manning would lose his next Super Bowl against the Saints, who his father played for. Come on, Truth Seeker. You can't see through this shit. Notice they lost with 17 points. 17, if you pay attention, very often in football, the losing team will have 17 points. Way out of proportion once you're awake to this. 17, not usually a good number, even though it was well for Osweiler last night. I think the Broncos will lose in the Super Bowl if they make it, by the way. Could be wrong about that, but it's just another hunch I have. I think the NFC will win it this year. Also remember this. If the NFC team advances over the Falcons and the Packers to the Super Bowl, we will have found another connection, which I will talk about more later. But just remember I said that. If the NFC team advances over the Falcons and the Packers, we will have found something. Then the Broncos with Manning would lose to the Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks equals 43. Remember, it was all about 12 and the 12th man. Broncos snapped the safety through the end zone 12 seconds into the game. Only Super Bowl ever played on the 33rd day of the year. Lots of coding there, Truth Seeker. It's all scripted. It's all scripted. That's what I want people to get in their heads. That Super Bowl between the Broncos and the Seahawks was foretold in an episode of The Simpsons. Simpson has gematria of 33. Look at the score on this game. This is supposed to be the Super Bowl. If I can get it up there. Sorry, Truth Seeker. Computer's not cooperating. If you can make that out, it says Broncos 19, Seahawks 14. 19 plus 14 equals 33. Of course, the Broncos won Super Bowl 33. Seahawks, one of the few teams in the league with 33 numerology. This episode came out years before Super Bowl 48. In this game, Homer gets it wrong. He bets on the wrong team. He bet on the Seahawks. What's interesting is about Super Bowl 48, it was the Super Bowl that made the most money ever for Vegas. It made more than the next 7 Super Bowls combined had made for Vegas. And it's because the majority of the people bet on the Broncos and the Seahawks dominated them. Remember, this Super Bowl was played on the 33rd day of the year. The Simpsons foreshadows a lot of things. This Super Bowl was all in the script. All part of a planned agenda. Now let's go back and look at that car crash from earlier this year. Do you remember this? The car crash of the man who fell out the back of his car, landed on the freeway sign. His name was Richard Pananian, having gematria of 77. This stood out to me right away because Green Bay equals 77. There's a lot of signs that Green Bay might be in this Super Bowl, but I'm not sold. If they do end up in the Super Bowl, just know it was all told through this bullshit story in the media about a guy landing on a freeway sign 20 feet above the freeway after getting in a car wreck. The Broncos also made the playoffs for the first time in the year 77. In the 17th year of them being in the league, they joined in 60. Richard Panini in the big way also sums to 131, like Super Bowl. Like the numerology of the date the Broncos won their last Super Bowl. And he crashed at Colorado Street, exit 142. There was 101 coding in this story. It happened 101 days before Super Bowl 50. This story comes from California. Super Bowl 50 will be in California. His friend's name has identical gematria to Knights Templar, just like the name gematria of Brock Osweiler. Interesting. The big way his name sums to 137, the 33rd prime number. I'm telling you, Truth Seeker, this is nothing but a coded story. Story tells us there was a lamb sacrifice on October 25th, a date with 50 numerology. It's upcoming Super Bowl 50. This was not a real story. It was a riddle. The riddle likely has to do with the Super Bowl, as crazy as that may sound. Collision Center having gematria of 74 and 83, football numbers. You see it, Truth Seeker? Here's some pictures from the crash. It was at exit 142 Colorado Street. Remember, Osweiler has the 142 connection. You see what's going on here? Little unrelated note, another tribute I saw earlier this season. This football game between the Broncos and Chiefs, longtime rivals. The score was 17-17. Number of focus. With 2:32, a timeout was called, and things got crazy in the final 2 minutes and 32 seconds. A lot of scoring in the end. Chiefs went up 24-17. Then Broncos tied it 24-24. Then a fumble recovery at the end for a touchdown. Broncos win 31-24, a sum of 55 in their 55th year of existence. All this happening after the timeout with 2:32. Look how 55 and 2:32 line up with Satan. And let's not forget the new young quarterback is a Sun Devil. So, if you think I'm wrong about this rigging by the numbers, what I think is you're fucking insane and you need to wake the fuck up because you're part of the problem and we're all getting sold out. And football is a distraction from the Masonic Zionist Jews who run this world and need the manpower of this world sitting on their ass, getting drunk, getting fat, wasting their lives instead of taking the world back. Until next time. Encore Truth Seeker, I forgot to mention that before Osweiler's big start last night on the date with 55 numerology in the Broncos' 55th year of existence, he came into the game with 555 passing yards. His career long was a 48-yard completion, and 48 was the number that decided the game, the number that wasn't so favorable for the Broncos in Super Bowl 48. All right, until next time.